#1 place on the internet for looking at cute dogs on rooftops in China. And cats, totally unafraid of that one dog that will kill him. Just putting his foot out, just dangling it as bait. Hope everyone's doing well out there. This is my rooftop here in China, where I drink copious amounts of Chinese tea. We've got a special one today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Maojians from 2025. I'm going to start making some hard choices. It's always hard. You know, it's hard to make those decisions. But right off the bat, I can see over here, handmade, 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 machine made. See the shape's different? Handmade. A lot of white frosting on this one. A little bit less on this one. Much less on this one. Much less on this one. A lot of frosting on this one. So I want my Maojian frosty. Maojian really means furry tips in English. So I want those tips furry. And you can easily see by the color how furry it is. More white, more furry. This one's probably the furriest of the bunch. But yeah, I've got a very particular order here. So I'm going to try to keep them in that order. But yeah, we got the dogs over here thinking they're cows. Look at them, just chowing down on grass. Anyways, it's been a while since they've been up here, and the cat's been kind of roaming free, but I put the cat in the cage to let the dogs run around a little bit up here. Anyways, let's get into, this one's also very frosty too, and this is Yu Guangbai, Moonlight White from Yunnan, and it's, remember, it's Camellia taliensis. It's the only tea I know of that I've had that's not Camellia sinensis, or Camellia sinensis assamica. Camellia taliensis. Taliensis. Hey, Polar, welcome. Had a great trip, man. Learned so much. Made some amazing contacts. It was just an amazing experience. And next year, when my funds are a little bit better, I'm going to do it every month. I'm going to be going on some tea trip. I got some long videos on YouTube coming. I know I've said it before. But got 180 gigabytes of 4K video for my trip, so that's pretty epic. So don't worry, there's gonna be lots of sharing about like these Ginseng cups, which are just so epic in their own right. Thanks, dude. Thanks, man. Yeah, I've been cooking up big time. Got 5 Maojians over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 grams in each of these cups. Handmade, 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 machine made, handmade. And you can tell by the shape of this one. Super frosty, a little bit less frosty. Not that frosty, not that frosty. Super frosty. Hey, Educated Oolong. Welcome, welcome. Just looking at my Maojian collection. I've got these 5. These are kind of the... and ACI 100, thanks for stopping by. These are kind of the finalists. Making some hard choices. Got to make the hard decisions. But yeah, furry tips, Maojian. You want your frosty tips. Super frosty, a little bit less frosty. Not that frosty, not that frosty. Super frosty. But all these have pretty good flavor. I'm just kind of doing another tasting today. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Plan on selling Gaiwans? I do plan on selling Gaiwans. Polar. Just moving like a slug over here. Unlike these dogs, which are chowing down on grass, and oh look, they're throwing up grass too. We don't have to watch this. Yesterday I was throwing up here from drinking so much tea. I did that on an Instagram live stream. So funny. But looks like it wasn't saved in the archive, so nobody has to see that again. Although I did get some screenshots. Just to remember, too much tea on an empty stomach can be problematic. It was that Qianliang cha that I wasn't used to. It got me. But yeah, I do plan on selling Gaiwans, man. I'm just not quite there yet, but for sure I'd like to. Yeah. Thanks for asking, though. Thanks for asking, Polar. Yeah, I've stopped quoting timelines on new products coming to the website, like teaware and stuff, because it's just it just never works out. The only deadline I always hit is the tea club. that one we move mountains to accomplish. You saw a pot plant, noob. Yeah, I've got a lot of potted plants up here. That one, very difficult to carry up the stairs full of soil. Let me tell you about it. It's on the 5th floor up here. And every step was agony. Moving plants to the roof. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, timelines, I mean, timelines are really important, but they can also mess you up, so. Like when I launched the website back on October 26th, I was up for like 3 days before that because I had to hit that deadline. Like I had like pushed it so many times, and it was like really messing with me. So deadlines do encourage like crazy work, but also if you just keep missing them, it's like there's some sort of fundamental problem, and making more deadlines isn't going to help it. Nice. I'm sitting on a bunch of Baimudon out here. Got to get it back into the website. That's cool. Awesome, dude. Anyways, I'm going to get into these Maojians. I've got 5 grams in each of these this is like a little whiskey cup. But this is what I'm using. And this water, it's been rested a little bit. But I'm just going to hit each cup and just start drinking it. So move and watch this. Look, let's move it into the sun. Let's do this. So, it's not science here. I'm just kind of doing this. Okay. Well, that was fun. Right off the bat, the machine one is looking a little murky. Which, usually it's not really a problem. Yeah, that one's really cloudy. But the handmade one's just a lot of trichomes floating around. Man, there's a lot of trichomes. You see that? It's like a flurry of trichomes, but not cloudy. This one, flurry of trichomes, also not really cloudy. This one, flurry of trichomes, I would say less trichomes, like the dry leaf looked like. This one, flurry of trichomes and cloudy. And this one, flurry of trichomes, not cloudy. So this is science, This is what we're doing today. Look at these 5 beautiful green teas. Some of these, the prices are crazy. And some of them, the prices are very reasonable. So, can you tell? This machine cloudy one is not the cheapest in the group. Anyways, let's drink some. I'm going to start with this one over here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh, this one's a little different. That one actually tastes a little smoky. They were using some, because they use charcoal or wood for the shaching Kilgreen phase. Seems like we're getting a little bit of smoke in that one. You don't really want smoke in a Maojian. Anyways, really interesting. I kind of like the smoke, actually. I kind of like that one. But yeah, there's going to be a lot more testing, but this is kind of where I'm at right now. Try not to burn my tongue. You burn your tongue, it kind of inhibits your tasting abilities. And, well, then you just got to wait it out. Polar, yo, would you happen to know about how sun affects white teas? I saw in some Mayleaf video how big producers are using man-made withering stuff for mass production. Yeah, So, in general, white tea's picked according to the weather, because most, I would say many. It probably changes every year. As labor costs go up, there's probably less and less hand or sun withering. And as the demanding customer wants a real consistent product, somebody told me, they're like, factory or like machine process, it's not necessarily bad, but you just don't get those pleasant surprises. So just like any sort of automation or mechanization, it just standardizes the product. So yeah, you get less of those downsides of like, whoops, messed that one up. But you also don't get those really pleasant surprises where you like hit an all-star out of the park or whatever, home run. So just the baseball analogies in there. I don't follow baseball, but so yeah, some white tea is sun withered. Traditionally that's how they did it, but now they replicate that process with these massive vats. They do this in many places. Ensha Yulu, they're withering on massive vats. Out in Anhua, I saw those vats. They got those vats everywhere, and it's a very standard way for withering. And there's often hot air pumped in under and around the leaves. Over in Wuishan, they got those cylinders that spin, and they pump hot air into them, which are not really vats. I just call them like the cylinders, those massive cylinders. But yeah, the flavor's probably a little bit different. Is it worse? I don't know. I haven't really done any side to side comparison of like the same, because you'd be probably a different producer, and then there's all sorts of other variables. So I haven't seen like controlled variables tasting. Like I haven't been able to do that. Where like one was the same terroir, same producer, just sun withered. I just haven't seen that. But the white tea on my website is sun withered. There are no vats at that facility, and so he's waiting for weather conditions to do his picking. So yeah. Sorry, maybe I can't be that helpful with that answer. But I'm asking because my university has a simulated withering machine, and I really want to do some research for tea. Yeah, get some tea plants from Table Rock Tea Company. I don't know how much he charges, probably a lot, to ship you some clones, and just do some experimenting, man. Yeah, that's interesting. What university has this? Is this for like some agricultural university? Is that in America? PDAB, welcome. Remember me? I changed my name, and PFP. Okay, buddy. Yeah, I don't really remember. LSU. What's else? Is that Louisiana State University? That's interesting. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. What I am sure about is this Moonlight White Tea being delicious, and me having anxiety every time I drink it because my bag of it's getting smaller. As soon as I run out of this stuff, like I'm hopping on a train and going to where they make it with like the last 20 grams of this stuff. I'm like getting on the train, and then I'm walking around like a village with my little bag, shaking it. Do you know who made this tea? I need some more. And as soon as I do that, it'll probably go into the tea club and then later trickle down to the website. That's the operation we're doing here. The experimental tests are done through the tea club. I know it sounds crazy, but they're usually winners. Then when people are raving about it in the tea club, it trickles down to the website. Anyways, it's from Formula One racing is where I got that methodology. Huge agricultural stuff here, but I'm a chemical engineer. We have a little box that lets us stimulate stuff. Be in the sun for like 600 years. Wow, that's fascinating, dude. That's really cool. Chemical engineering. Awesome, dude. How's your organic chemistry? Let's talk about it. Wait, do the coupon codes work on the Tea Club? They do not. Nothing works on the Tea Club except the gift card. Yeah, coupons don't work on the Tea Club. Sorry about that. What coupon code do you have? I'm curious. Maybe don't even post it here. Maybe you can if you want. That's interesting. Ooh. Yeah, organic chemistry, a little bit much for me. I was doing electrical engineering, and so I didn't actually have to do. Well, yeah, I did, but that's where I stopped. That's where I dropped out. This is right before organic chemistry. I'd heard some horror stories, but I did all the like engineering calculus and differential equations and linear algebra and all that stuff. But and then I just moved to China. It's like, screw you, organic chemistry. I'm moving to China. Yeah, at UCSD, University of California, San Diego, electrical engineers had to do organic chem. Because there's a lot of material science now in electrical engineering. Semiconductor stuff. Exotic alloys. But yeah, they made us do 2 general chemistries and then 2 organic chemistries. And I dipped out right before that. I always thought aerospace was harder. It's all theoretical, over at the fluid dynamics laboratories. But, with electrical engineering, like, the math always works. Like, it works. And, like, you can balance your equations every time. But with, like, aerospace and stuff, there's a lot of, like, guesses. Like, we just don't have clean data on how it's really going to behave. Well, I mean, there are universities like Embry-Riddle out in like Prescott, Arizona, and they have one in Daytona Beach, Florida. They pump out tons of aerospace engineers every year, and most of them go into the Air Force or go work for Boeing or Lockheed. That's interesting. That's cool, man. We got an engineer. We got a Mr. Brainiac over here. We got an engineer watching the T live stream. The Shuriken Zone. Never shirking his responsibility to stop by the live stream. Hey, Bing Dao. This is Lao Banjiang. Bing Dao this, Lao Banjiang that. The crappy Maojian hit me with the wiffle ball bat. Sounds like a different kind of stream today. Yeah, Shuriken Zone. We're talking about very high-level engineering concepts. Bing Dao this, Lao Banjiang that. Yeah, it is a little different today because we're doing 5 different Maojians. What kind of a psychopath has 5 different Maojians from 3 different producers? Doing some final decisions for the old website. But yeah. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. A little smoky, kind of weird. that's the extent. That's the extent of my vocabulary for this tasting. That's nice. Just each one. Oh, it's so funny. Can you tell me a bit about these and what you're looking for? Good review. We'll be buying them all. Yeah, that's a good review. What is this dog doing? Just right here. Is that? You want some trouble? Oh, I'm just looking for that classic Maojian flavor. The appearance of this one was a real winner along with this one. Didn't like this one so much. Not a lot of furry tips on my furry tips. This one's super cloudy, machine processed. Really, for me, at this point, and I've tried these before. You know, I was drinking these in hotel rooms. To me, it's really between these three right here. This one's super cloudy, machine made. Yeah, we'll just not do that one. And this one, a little bit lower grade, but also handmade. I mean, you can see there's like a seed in there. And they're a little bit bigger. You see the size difference in the buds here? A little bit smaller, a little bit bigger. Maybe I can do this. You see how the top one's a little smaller, a little bigger. More brown imperfections and stuff, and there's a seed. This one, very small also. Maybe even a little bit smaller than this one. And they have slightly different picking times. None of these are pre-Qingming though. On high altitude mountains in central China, you're just not really picking before April, like early spring picking. High altitude, things are growing slower, and these three are from Lingshan. And this machine one's from like some wild tea mountain that was undergoing some drought. I have a lot of video about that. We'll make a long video about it later. Oh, but yeah. Can you tell me about? I'm just looking for small leaves and buds, lots of trichomes, delicious flavor, and pretty clear, not cloudy liquid. I'm gonna hit them with a little bit more water. And actually, this grandpa style of brewing is very typical. Every restaurant you go to in these regions, they're bringing you a cup of some swaggy Maojian in a cup like this. But yeah, fully handmade, machine made, wild, crazy mountain. And this one, never even went to the terroir of this one. And this one's so expensive. This one's probably just off the table by price, but it's really good. But you know, there's some rough handling there, some broken bits and stuff. This one's probably like the beauty queen of the group. Also extremely expensive. I'm kind of leaning towards this one, but I'm gonna stay objective and try not to even think about price and stuff, and just look at the price as like a final. Really nice. A little bit bitter, but you know, there's a lot of just like a little bit of water with my tea leaves. Yeah, they're very similar. It's almost like the difference between these is really aesthetic. Ouch! This one's a little bit more bitter. A little bit uncomfortably bitter. This one tastes pretty good. This machine one. This cloudy machine one. Yeah, this one has like a little smoky element. But that seems a little atypical and almost like an error. But, I don't know. It's kind of nice, though. That's definitely unique. Definitely unique. Anyways, get out of those Maojians. Come over here to the beautiful, beautiful, just so beautiful. I've been told I have the prettiest moonlight white. And I'm a little bit anxious about it going away. As soon as it does, as soon as I'm down to like 10 grams, 20 grams, I am going to find more of this stuff. Have you ever tried 2025 Longjing yet? I remember you said it was going to be fire a bit ago. I have a box of samples that I'll do that tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow's live stream is going to be just like this, but Maojian. Okay? Or, sorry, just like this, but Longjing. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for remembering. I do say a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards this one. Because actually, once I do layer the price into it, this one's almost twice the price of this one. Yeah, this one. This is the highest grade from this producer. Kind of a beauty queen, you know. I mean, it looks beautiful. I wouldn't say it's necessarily smaller buds. I think this one's like it's like a trick. Like this one will just very similar, twice the price. See if the Lawai buys it. No, I actually trust and really respect this guy. His whole family was awesome. But anyways, thank you, Polar. Yeah, Longjing's coming. You're the only T guy with connections who actually says stuff that isn't trying to constantly educate. So it sticks when you say insider stuff like that. Instead of trying to, like what? Like what am I saying that's not true? Constantly trying to peddle my messaging. What's that? 你要什么茶？ Yeah, extremely similar, these two. Same producer, handmade beauties, half the price. It's looking real competitive, this one. But I'm gonna keep doing this. This one has nice small bits, but some broken bits. Their mountain was having a little bit of problems with some drought. They even had a mountain spring going through it, but like the spring was drying up. And clean and delicious. This is a great tea. Very similar. A little bit rough. Yeah, a little bit rough, that one. It's pleasant. Aesthetically not that nice and cloudy and machine made. And interesting smokiness to this one. Really interesting. I don't think people are really ready for a smoky green tea. I don't think people really want that. It's interesting though. But also very expensive like this one. I'm really leaning towards this one. I'm going to do some more sampling and different styles of brewing, some Gaiwan brewing. Get some pretty good views over here from the side. See those trichomes floating around? I mean, all these are kind of bitter now. I mean, this is like a stress test, right? It's like a little bit of water with my buds and leaves. Just a cup of leaves. Yeah, this one's nice. See those trichomes floating around? I mean, there's just ample. Like this. And then this one, also lots of trichomes. And then this one, it's like the leaves is like expanded. Oh, that one tastes a little rough. You can see the leaves are a little bit rough. This one, kind of nice, but cloudy, machine made. Not loved as much. You know, when you get that kind of cloudiness from the Maojian, they've just been rough with them. And yeah, even the way he packaged it for me was just these big old clear bags. And this guy was like, it's kind of like a rich guy. And a lot of people, when people tell me they're like, oh, my family's been doing tea for 3 generations or something, I'm not really impressed by that. I'm like, oh, so you just did it because it was around you. Did it because it was easy and you had some advantages in that area. I actually like the guy that's like, my family's not even from here. I moved here because I wanted to grow Maojian. Like, that tells me there's something pretty special about that person. That they're like fighting against, Mom wanted me to finish college and be a chemical engineer. But I moved to Lingshan and started a Maojian farm. Like that's a totally different kind of person than the guy that's like, well, my daddy grew Maojian and his daddy grew Maojian and yep, Maojian's in my blood. Anyways, like the grind. You said Longjing. Okay. Okay, Polar. You're the only guy with the connections that actually says stuff that I'm trying to constantly educate so it sticks when you say insider stuff like that. Okay. You said Longjing was going to be good this year from what you heard. It was grapevine or something like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard it was good conditions. I always ask that. And then I always ask them, like, kind of tricky questions. I'm always like, over the past 5 years, how's the Longjing market going? How does this year's demand compare to last year's demand? I'm constantly trying to like size up which way the market's moving, and you can kind of start to get a feel for it. And yeah, the specialty tea market in China is a little bit weak this year, it seems, in general. And I think maybe I'm using that to my advantage. Sourcing some like with the Wui Yancha, like when it's on trend, like locally, like it's expensive and hard to get good stuff. But this year I was able to get a really nice Hui Yuan Rogue Wei, and actually the prices are it's a 2023 and the prices were the same as it was last year, but after like shopping around and like trying a bunch of different stuff, I just came back to it and was like, okay, I'll pay your price, because it actually seemed like an okay deal. I need to hit the hay. As always, I've enjoyed tea musings. Have a good one, sir. Shuriken Zone, thank you so much for stopping by, dude. You're the man. And if anybody needs to get into Shuriken, the Shuriken Zone is probably the way to go. Actually, I know it is. Rich off tea kind of goes hard. Hey, Lauren, Guy One Gang. Guy One Gang? Whoop, whoop. Norteño, Guy One Gang. Nepotism. That's right. There's a lot of that. Rich off tea kind of goes hard. Rich off tea. These guys got rich off tea. Man, I can't tell you. Everybody up in Longjing, Hangzhou, Westlake, they're all driving Audis. They've all gotten rich off tea over the past 20 years. Because the domestic demand has just surged. And not for like mid-grade, for premium. And it's just gone up. Because when you make money, when you're making money in China, you give tea as a gift very frequently. You're going to visit your family, bring them a bunch of high-end tea. And yeah, and then over in Wui, it's just a lot of Cadillacs and BMWs. I actually have a funny interview with a tea producer where I'm like, why are there so many black BMWs in Wuishan? That was like the only question I could think to ask him at the time. It's kind of funny. That'll be coming soon. I've got a lot of fun. I've got 180 gigabytes of content from this ordeal, which almost killed my wife and I. Ran out of money. She got really mad at me a couple times. So funny. But yeah, everything's going good. And yeah, these are the 5 Maojians that I'm trying to pick between. And I'll do some more Gaiwan tasting later. But so far I'm leaning towards this one. Hand-picked, super frosty buds. Clear, pretty clear infusion. which, it's not necessarily always what you want. Yulu, jade dew. You want that jade color, not clear. So, I don't know. But hope you're doing well, everybody, and just having fun over here with the Maojians and trying not to throw up like I did yesterday on the Instagram live stream. Yeah, I just started throwing up from Qinliang Cha. How was tea during COVID doing COVID in the United States? And production was definitely impacted, but demand surely surged. I don't know. I wasn't planning on doing. I don't think demand. I don't think production was really that affected. And I honestly, demand was probably. I don't know. That's a great question. How COVID affected tea. I just know me, when I was trapped outside of China, I was making sure my wife was sending me delicious tea. Yeah, I don't know. Gaiwan gang. I like Edgar stopping by. We haven't talked about the Gaiwan gang in a while. GG. Yeah, how was tea doing during COVID? I don't know. That's a good question. But yeah, I think prices were elevated. Like the U.S., China had a bunch of fiscal stimulus, they call it. When governments just start printing their monopoly money into oblivion and distributing it to their friends and people they like the most. But, yeah, how that affected it, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it exactly how COVID affected it. But yeah, I think there was some higher demand. I remember, like Jinzan. Jinzan saw a boom. Isn't that interesting? People are like, I'm at home. I just want a nice teacup to look at. Is that too much to ask? And so Jinzan had a boom about 5 years ago during COVID. But yeah, I'm sorry I can't really give more insight on that. And I think it's like different tea terroirs and different tea types. Some are hot, some are not. And algorithm manipulation to promote certain tea regions, I'm sure, goes on with the privately held media companies in China. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Yeah. Oh, dude, I totally agree, man. Yeah. Man, if I wasn't into tea, I'd probably still be an alcoholic. Yeah, it's just like, it's something to do, Yeah, totally. Totally, man. I love tea. Thank you, tea. Shisha cha. Let's see your calluses. Anyways, probably going to wrap it up there. I'm going to go live stream on some competing platforms. I'll just eat that bud. That was the bud. I'm just going to eat it. So I'm not afraid of it. But yeah, the garden's looking really nice up here. The dogs are chilling hard. Getting rich off tea. Yeah, there's a lot of people that got really rich off tea. Especially the big brand name teas like Wui Yancha and stuff. But thank you for stopping by. I'll probably leave it right there. Hope everyone's doing well. And I'm going to go live stream on another platform. After this, I'm going to do 10 minutes on Instagram because nobody likes me over there. And then I'll go over to TikTok where they just love me. And, yeah. Thanks, Polar. Thanks for stopping by. So, yeah, it's going to be Instagram for the next 10 minutes. I'm talking to myself. And then I'll go to TikTok where everybody loves me. All right, guys. Thanks so much. And I will leave you with this array of Maojian. Wow.